Hey, my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I like to start off every day with a fresh, hot, black cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. And of course, I think of my favorite quote of the century by Oscar Wilde, which says, "Life is too important to be taken seriously, so lighten up, folks." So today's topic is, drumroll please, Life of Retail Part 1. Yay! All right, so obviously, my last series, which was Life of Travel, sadly came to an end because it's only 8 parts, so this is part 1 of 8. So, Life of Retail, yes, which I did for 25 years. So, this is just the first part, so it's going to be a little overview. So, picture it, New York City, 1992. I had been, at that point, I was 27, and I had graduated college. I'd already, been in New York and living on my own, but I was, for the most part, doing, erotic massage, which you all know I do. And so it was interesting because I reached a point where I kind of felt like, okay, I should do my part for the society. Whatever the fuck that means. I think really what I meant was maybe I should start showing, like, reportable income. You think Social Security, I need to make some money on the books kind of thing. So I uh, had to have a friend, Kenneth. Hey, Ken, who lives in Vegas. And he at the time was working at Bloomingdale's, had been working in the hosiery department for years. And then he ended up segueing into the cosmetic industry, beauty and cosmetics, which is like basically like cosmetics, fragrances, skincare, all of that. And now he was managing a fragrance line. He was good friends with this lady, Janet, who was the business manager for Elizabeth Arden. There's a name you haven't heard in a while because they're not even in department stores anymore, but they were back then. They were looking for a resident makeup artist, and she was like, "Oh, my friend Fiona." Now, you got to realize that at that point, I'd been doing drag for like 6 years, but I had never like technically painted anyone. But I mean, I figure if I could paint myself and look good, how difficult would it be to paint a bunch of old white women on the Upper East Side? Can't be that hard. So uh, he like made the introduction, and at that time, it's not like I had a portfolio or anything, but we didn't have like smartphones. So what I had was old school, where like I had taken pictures, and so I had 4x6s. So I had them like put them all on these pages and kind of made like this faux little book that I had, and I showed up with that and said, "Look, this is what I can do." And she was like, "Oh my God," and she hired me on the spot. And I'll never forget, my first day was August 31st, 1992. And it was great. And and I just went for it. Now, in the retail world, like retail stores never close. Bloomingdale's only closes Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. So between August 31st and New Year's, I worked every single day without a day off except for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I was doing like store hours. So it was a lot. But anyway, I digress. So the whole point of this first part is to like say why it was that I wanted to do it, and I guess that was basically it. I just kind of felt like I wanted to do something else because I've always said. I've always done so many different things. So what I've always said is what's given me longevity in everything is that it's not the only thing I do. So like, I've always been an actor. I've always done my sex work. I've always done retail. I've always, even now doing this social media and this YouTube channel, it's like if you can do more than one thing, that keeps everything fresh. So that was really what prompted me to want to do it, because I thought for myself, let me just add more things to the mix so that I don't get bored with it. And 25 years later, all right, guys, so I am going to keep this one short. And then part 2, I'm going to dive into like what I actually, how I started that, which I kind of like spoke about it a little bit here because, all right. Love you. Thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not. Follow my social media, Fiona St. James, ST no period. And don't forget my book, The Life and Crimes of Fiona St. James, which you can get at fionastjames.com. Love you.